Yes, I feel that you cannot give so much freedom that you give complete choice. Okay, like for example, you cannot okay, you go and choose what is right, what is wrong. Go in the forest and choose any fruit.
Right.
You will poison yourself.
Right.
So always guidance is required.
Right.
At the same time, within the permissible thing is fine.
Right.
You can't tell a person, okay, go and have alcohol if you want, and then you may become alcoholic, you may not become.
Right.
My father didn't tell me that, but I'm telling you.
Right.
But so this is too much freedom.
Right.
Fine, you know it yourself. Fine, you'll falter, you'll all alcoholism is wrong, and then you come, no, okay, go and gamble.
Right.
No problem. When you lose money, then you yourself realize that gambling is wrong.
Right.
But I believe that there should be certain do's and don'ts. And remaining should be freedom. Do's must fine.
Right.
You should pray.
Right.
You should be honest.
Right.
You should be kind.
Right.
And some don'ts, okay, don't gamble. So these do's and don'ts should be the few. And the remaining can be.
So coming to your school, because that's what we were speaking about right now. There are two questions here, quick questions, which I'll add together about the school. One thing is that does the school allow non-Muslims to be admitted?
See, our school is, as I said, that our school is a unique school.
Right.
Which has formal education.
Right.
There's the international curriculum.
Right.
IGCSE board from Cambridge and the Islamic.
Right.
So no one so far has applied because it is mainly two in one.
Right.
The formal education and the Islamic education.
So that Islamic education is a part of the curriculum.
Part of the curriculum.
Right.
So no one has applied.
Right.
Fine. So, and in the curriculum we teach about the Quran, about this, though we teach other religions also, but the main thing is Islam. So it is an Islamic international school.
Right.
It is amalgamation of what I feel that the formal education required for a person to grow up, as well as religious education. So based on that, we have only Muslim children applying.
Right.
And all the children studying are Muslim.
Right. The second question is that what do you feel about the madrasa system in our country today? As you might well know, that there has been a debate going on for quite a while about whether the madrasas should be integrated into the mainstream, whether they should be kept. What is your view of?
See, as far as the madrasas are concerned, what I believe that the madrasa as a whole,
right,
fine, they are giving a lot of support to the Muslim community as far as education is concerned.
Right.
But as science and technology is advancing,
right,
the way the science and technology, if they incorporate, it will be far more beneficial for the students. So what they're doing is good. You can't say what they're doing is wrong. But if you want to get a better output, if we use the science and technology, then the output in teaching and grasping of the student improve. That's the reason there are many madrasas which are incorporating computers, English, technology. That's happening.
right,
But some are doing faster than the others. Some are doing at a slow pace.
Right.
Some are doing at a fast pace. But overall, I feel if you incorporate, for example, now we have the complete Quran on a DVD. You want to search?
right,
You press the search button, you can search any topic on it. That's what the research department. So this is incorporated. If they have to research on Islam, research on Quran, they can do faster. The time required will be less. What you want can be grabbed onto the computers. There are various disks. All the books, you can have one disk, thousands of books. So research is far better and superior.
In your quote, the quote which you say was misquoted, right? Which has been used, which has again been taken up by the UK government where the denial of visa is concerned.
Not the denial of visa. Exclusion order. I already had a visa for 5 years. Visa was given, they revoked me.
Exclusion order, right? The revoking of.
Revoking of the visa.
There is the word terrorist, and there are these two phrases. One which you've used in the quote. I'm not going to the full quote, but I've read the full quote, which is antisocial elements you've spoken about, terrorism against antisocial elements, and you've spoken about terrorism against common innocent people being bad. Now, out here, how would you define common innocent people? I mean, how does one draw the line there?
That's right. And as you rightly said that if you hear the full context, I said, and which you know about it,
Right.
which were misquoted out of context by the UK media and then believed by the UK government, what I say that, what is the meaning of the word terrorist? Terrorist by definition means a person who causes terror. When a robber sees the policeman, he's terrified.
Right.
So for the robber, the policeman is a terrorist. So in this context, every Muslim should be a terrorist. This is with the Quran context. Whenever a robber sees a Muslim, he should be terrified. Whenever any criminal sees a Muslim, he should be terrified. Whenever any anti-social element looks at a Muslim, he should be terrified.
Right.
But I'm also aware that more commonly the word terrorist is used for a person who terrorizes an innocent human being. In this context, no human being should ever terrorize any innocent human being. As far as you're asking me, what do I define by an antisocial element?
Right.
For example, robber is antisocial element, criminal is antisocial element, rapist is antisocial element. So anything which is detrimental to the society is antisocial element. In short, as I told you in jihad means to strive against your own evil inclination. Jihad also means to strive and struggle to make the society better. So when I'm striving and struggling to make the society better, in Arabic it is said I'm doing jihad.
Right.
So here, whenever any antisocial element, a robber, a rapist, a criminal,
Right.
see the Muslim should be terrified. So no simple plain English.
Right. Right.
And then I said about commonly innocent human. So innocent human, no Muslim should ever terrorize any innocent human being.
Right.
Now again, about every Muslim should be a terrorist. Theresa May, when she gave a press conference and told the media, Dr. Zakir Naik says every Muslim should be a terrorist. So she said it with her tongue.
Right.
Fine.
Right.
If I take that clipping and put it on the YouTube, and if I show it to the USA government, that Theresa May, the Home Secretary of UK, has said every Muslim should be terrorist. I am asking, will USA ban her? Will USA prevent her from coming to USA? Yes or no? Yes or no?
No.
No. So why these double standards?
Right.
So for her, they won't, but for me, they will. Why? So what I believe that YouTube clipping is not an evidence at all.
You've spoken about the fact that Islamic criminal law would be the most practical law where India is concerned. What are your main reasons for this?
Islamic criminal law would not be really practical. So it will be practical throughout the world, I say.
Throughout the world.
Why? Because what I say, that most of the religions, they basically speak good things. For example, Hinduism says it should not rob. Christianity says it should not rob. Islam says the same. But the difference between Islam and the other religions is that Islam, besides speaking good things, shows you a way how to achieve that state of goodness.
Right.
For example, robbing. All religions say should not rob. Islam says the same. So what is the difference between Islam and the other religions? Islam, besides telling not to rob, shows you a way how to achieve a state in which people will not rob. Islam has a system of zakat. That is, every rich person who has a saving of more than the nisab level, has more than 85 grams of gold, he or she should give 2.5% of that saving every lunar year in charity. If every rich human being in the world gives zakat, charity, poverty will be eradicated from this world. There will not be a single human being who die of hunger. After that, the Quran says in Surah Ma'idah chapter 5 verse 38, that as to the thief, be it a man or a woman, chop off his or her hand as a punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Right.
People will say chopping off the hands. In this age of science and technology, Islam is a barbaric religion. It's a ruthless way of life. And they think that if you go to Saudi Arabia, where this law is practiced, every second person who come across will have his hand chopped off. I have been to Saudi Arabia umpteen number of times. I have been more than 50 times. I have not come across a single man whose hands have been chopped off. Surely there may be some people whose hands have been chopped off, but it's not as common as they think. Now, I'm asking a question that today America, which happens to be one of the most advanced countries in the world, do you know it also has one of the highest rate of theft and robbery and crime in the world? I'm asking the question that if you implement the Sharia in America, that every rich person who has a saving of more than 85 grams of gold, that will come to about 100,000 rupees today, or maybe $2,500, should give 2.5% of that excess wealth in charity every lunar year. And after that, if any American robs, or anyone robs in America, USA, chop off his or her hand as a punishment. I'm asking the question, will the rate of robbery and theft in USA, will it increase? Will it remain the same or will it decrease? What will happen?
Possibly it will decrease.
It will decrease, practical law. So if you implement the Islamic criminal law anywhere in the world, whether it be Saudi Arabia, whether it be India, whether it be USA, whether UK, it will get results. People
Just one thing here, which is a point you would surely understand, which is that the one problem with implementing a law like that is that, let's say we put a person into jail, and let's say it is proved, because you know how trials are in our country. It takes a while, and finally one judgment might be wrong, another judgment might be right. There is an appeal, and it is proved, let us say 2 years later, after he's in jail, that he was actually innocent.
Correct.
You can free him. But once you've chopped a man's hands off, then how can you reinstate his
So
form?
if there's an appeal, you cannot chop off the hand until the appeal is over. Suppose in the law court, he goes, appeal is there. The punishment cannot be given until it's done on the high court. And the difference between Islamic law and the other law is you have to follow Islam as a whole. In the Islamic law, if someone gives a witness, and if the witness is proved to be a liar, you have to give him 80 lashes. Which is not there in the other country. You give a witness, you can say, मैं जो कहूँगा सच के साथ कुछ नहीं कहूँगा. Whether Bhagavad Gita, whether Bible, whether Quran, and you can lie openly.
Right.
In Islam, a person will think 10 times before lying. If he's caught, if he's exposed, 80 lashes. So as a whole, you tell me one thing. Today, the least rate of crime, theft, any country in the world, Saudi Arabia. Why? Not because the police of Saudi Arabia is very intelligent. The police of UK and USA is far more intelligent. Because the law is so strict, a person will think 10 times before robbing. If you see the policemen of Saudi Arabia, not that they are very great, but the law is so strict. What we realize that even if Saudi Arabia today relaxes this law, theft will again start in Saudi Arabia. What I'm trying to say, we have a practical law. And there was a country in Africa, which at the moment this law was implemented, within a few months, theft and robbery came down. Next to zero. So we have practical examples. That doesn't mean everyone who robbed the hand will be chopped off. The moment you chop off the first or two robbers, everything will stop. So when the crime will not narenge, baas na bajenge, basuri, the crime will not be the where the question of giving punishment. So that is the reason the least rate of theft or rape in any country, it's in Saudi Arabia. What I'm trying to say that this is the most practical law. And you see the countries where the law is implemented, the least rate of theft takes place.
Certain names, for example, Pavel Skachevsky, Michael Savage, certain other people, Mike Gozovsky, this Kansas Baptist pastor called Fred Phelps. These people have also been banned from the UK.
I haven't heard of them.
Okay. Some people who either their visa was revoked, something, because of certain claims, such as this person has certain extreme that was the UK.
They belong to which field? No. Which field? Were they political leaders? Were they religious?
Politics? Some were from religion. So, at the same time, when we're talking about the visa being revoked in this particular
Revoked and exclusion order. Both together.
Then why do you stick to your stand that this is as a result of a general larger paranoia about spreading of Islam? What is that?
Very good. See, these what we're talking about maybe in the past, not in the near future.
Right.
And this may have been done by the previous government. This government is new government, 1.5 months old. Right. And the first person who they banned, excluded, was me.
Right.
So I'm the first scapegoat. Right. I'm talking about this government, not the previous government. And all these bans were not done by this government, were done by the previous government. Right. So the world of a difference between previous government and this government. Right. So this government is a conservative government, was always in the opposition. Telling the previous Labour government, it's your fault, you allow people, you allow Muslim speakers to come in. Now when they came to power, if you have the bully made the class monitor, then the thing goes away. But now they're in the dock. Right. When they open the class monitor, I don't think so they wanted to ban me. But because of that article that came on 30th of May in Sunday Times, saying Dr. Zakir Naik said that every Muslim should be a terrorist, he's a hate monger, preacher of hate into Britain, it blamed the government. Attacked me, he's a hate monger, or he's a misogynist, he hates women. There are more women coming from my talk. The women accepting Islam from my talk. So it put pressure on the government. So they knew very well that legally there was no way they could ban me. See, the government is new, but the Home Office is old. The Home Secretary is new. The intelligence is the same.
Right.
The intelligence knows very well my work.
Right.
There is no way. Even the top intelligence, I know their names also, so I don't want to take the names. They know very well my work. They know me in and out. And according to the legal team, they could not ban me.
Right.
It is more of a political decision. Now, because when they came into power, the other people started saying, why aren't you banning? Why aren't you banning? And because, as you know,
felt the pressure.
According to the UK media, according to the UK intelligence, the most popular Muslim speaker is myself.
Right.
The speaker amongst the Muslims who get the maximum audience in UK, in USA, in Canada, in the world is myself. So there was no better scapegoat than me. But they know very well I'm going to challenge this. But they don't know that I can go to any extreme for the truth.
Right.
That they didn't realize. And now the decision was more of a political decision. If they say this person is good, we don't want to ban him, they will have a very sorry face. It will weaken the political situation. They see.
Right.
If they ban me and if I challenge, time lagega 1 month.
It will take a while.
1 month. Will go. So there also we'll have to have a problem.
Right.
But the danger of the political seat is a bigger problem than facing the court.
Right.
Because they can tell the other people, fine, we ban him, the court will allow them.
Right.
But even the court passing a verdict against the government is a bad name for the government. But that's a smaller loss as compared to this loss. So they preferred taking a smaller loss than a big loss. And I think it's a political move. Because anyone, you don't have to be intelligent. Any layman goes on the net or sees my DVDs and sees the context.
Right.
It's absolutely clear.
Right.
I've been condemning violence,
Right.
killing innocent people
Right.
in hundreds of metals.
Right.
And hundreds of times. And they know it very well. This was just an excuse. And why do I say that the government, it has got Islamophobia?
Right.
Why? Immediately after my ban,
Right.
they ban other people also. 2 days after that, Dr. Bilal Phillips,
Right.
he came from Qatar.
Right.
He's a Canadian. On 19th of June,
Right.
he was sent back.
Right.
The other person, Arif Islam, South African, white. He's a Muslim, white man, Muslim. He's a convert, he's a revert. He wanted to come for a conference, they didn't give him visa. So not giving visa is one thing, but not allowing entry to a person who has a visa. Bilal Phillips had a visa.
Right.
So what I realized that it is more of an Islamophobia. It's more of a political decision. And what they fail to realize, all these speakers, I know them. I know Bilal Phillips.
Right.
I even know Arif Islam. We are promoting peace. And we have condemned killing innocent people hundreds of times.
Right.
What they fail to realize, if they prevent us from coming to the country,
Right.
I'm aware that there are many youngsters who are being misguided by certain Muslims who are claiming that killing innocent people is part of Islam. If they prevent people like us coming to UK, these youngsters will become soft target for these people.
Right.
So what they're doing is that they're digging their own grave. So if they really want peace, why are they preventing those speakers who promote peace from entering?
Right.
And the records are clear.
Right.
There are so many heads of states who have called me from many countries.
Right.
I've been the guest of the governments. I've met top government officials of so many countries. So is the UK intelligence trying to tell the world that all the other governments are fools? I have met kings, I've met sheikhs, I've met rulers of many countries, I've met prime minister, I've met presidents.
Right.
And they call me, I've had lunch with them, dinner with them, stayed with them in the palaces. So the UK government is giving a message, all these people are calling a person who promotes terrorism. What message are they giving?
Right.
Are they saying to say that UK intelligence is the best and all the other governments are fools?
Right.
So I think it was a political decision.
When it comes to your son, sir, don't you think it's a little young for him to decide, or has he not decided his course of his future as yet? When you're talking about him being at that age, because he's just 15, do you think that at that age, because you yourself at a much later age decided after?
The first time I gave a talk, I think, was at the age of 27.
Right.
Right? First time he gave a talk, I was at the age of 13.
Right.
No. Initially at the age of 8. 6, 5, 8, no, a lot.
Yeah.
But the major talk. Now what we realized is that, that's what I always ask people, that when is the time you think about the future of your children?
Right.
I have to ask you, when is the earliest you should think about the future of your children?
Right.
So some of the people reply, yes, when they pass school,
Right.
so that's the time when you want to put them in college, you have to think what they have to become. What stream. And I said, are you sure? Some people say, no. When he reaches 5th standard.
Right.
I'm saying, no. When you want to put him in school.
Right.
So the earliest someone has told me is when you want to put your child in school. But I disagree with that. I feel the latest, not the earliest, the latest you have to think about the future of your child is when you choose a life partner. Well, when you choose a life partner,
Right.
depending on what type of life partner you choose, is the latest, not the earliest. You decide what should be your future of your children. Because the person who plans well in advance is the person who's planned the best.
Right.
When I talk about future, people don't think only as a profession.
Right.
It has a whole life.
His
Profession is part of it.
kind of life.
So if I want my son to be religious, I would take a religious wife.
Right.
I can't expect to have a person who's absolutely away from religion and then want my son to be religious.
Right.
Fine, me in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, me in the hands of God. But yet, how we plan.
Right.
So your planning latest should be when you choose a life partner.
Right.
So you're asking, isn't 15 years too early? I feel it is already too late. Because when you bring up your child, it is the duty of the parents to instill the values in the child. If I don't instill, maybe he'll have bad friends.
Right.
He'll have wrong friends. He may think robbing is right. He may think, flirting around is right. So I feel when you choose your life partner is the latest that you decide about the future of your child. So regarding my son, everything has been told to him. He is brought up in Islamic International School. And the school was mainly established to give a platform to the children 100 times better than what I got when I was a child.
Right.
With that intention, we started the school. There are more than 400 children studying in the school, 435 in Bombay,